Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kay. I'm an audio engineer and an artist. And in this video, I'm going to show you mixing tips that I wish I knew sooner. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And let's go ahead and get into this video. All right, y'all. So tip number one is going to be automating the low pass, also known as the Drake underwater effect. So what we're going to do is import the beat, which is Shift Command I, and we're going to go ahead and just look for the audio, which is this one. We're going to click convert and we're going to click open. And we're just going to click open into the audio files of this folder that we're using. All right, so once it processes, we're going to click OK for new track. Now we have the beat open, but we're also going to Shift Command N, and we're going to create another beat track because I want to show you what I used to do and what I do now. So what I used to do was I'd be in grid mode. I'd find a spot that I want to do the underwater effect on, and I would take it. I would highlight, Command E, bring it down, and now we got the underwater effect going like this. And that's worked for a while, but now I learned a new way to do things. So we're going to go ahead and delete this track. We're just going to bring this out. And what we're going to do is open up this track some. We're going to come to waveform. We're going to go to playlist. We're going to click on this icon right here. We need to add one knob filter onto the actual track. So we're going to click here. We're going to type in one knob filter stereo. We're not going to actually change this, okay? What we're going to do is right click on the plugin. We're going to go down to automation dialog. We're going to click filter, add, click OK. Now, instead of doing volume right here for automation, we're going to come down here to one knob filter. If we go ahead and highlight this and bring it down, what we can do is actually automate it for it to go down, but then rise back up. So we brought it down, and now I'm just going to take this endpoint and bring it back up to make it even. Now let's listen. So we just automated the low pass filter, which is way better than creating a whole new track, and it saves a lot of time. All right, so tip number two is so simple. I don't know why I didn't know this before, but it's a quicker way to creating send tracks. And let me show you what I used to do and what I do now. So let's create a random audio track using Shift Command N, and we're just gonna click create. So then what I used to do to create these sends was I would Shift Command N, I'll come down to stereo, come down to aux, say I wanted to do a throw reverb, I would title it that, but then I would have to come up to setup, come down to IO, I would have to come over to bus, I would have to create a new path, come to stereo, and then title this throw reverb, then click OK. Then I would come to input, come down to bus, click throw reverb, then come to send, come over to bus, scroll down, click throw reverb, and then we're done. That literally took way too long. So I'm going to show you a quicker way. So what we're going to do is literally click A, come down to new track, already set to stereo aux. We're going to name this reverb 25 just so we can see how quick it is. Click that and look at that. Reverb 25 is already set. It's routed. It already comes up. That literally took maybe 5 to 10 seconds compared to the last way I did it. That probably took 20 to 25 seconds. I don't know why I didn't know this, but as simple as it is, I thought I'd let you guys know. So tip number 3 is going to be how to do stutter effects. Some of y'all might not know. It took me a little longer to figure it out. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do it. All right. So this song right here is called She Knows. This was an open verse that I did a while back. I ended up putting an artist named Delay on here, and I'm going to show you how to do the stutter effect with his verse. So if we just come over here to his verse, this is what it looks like right here, and I'll let you hear it.
When I walk into the man, she get on my nerves. Big body, booty bitch, ass so fat, got my mind curved, can't think straight. My money gone, my life is stake. Fucking it, come let you feel it and suck it. Shake your whole body and tell it was nothing. Pussy suck it, gotta give it.
So that's what it sounds like. So what we're going to do is go ahead and turn on grid mode, and we need to change the grid to 1/16. We want to make sure this is clicked for grid. And we're going to come here and we're going to come down to 1/16. And let's just zoom in a little bit more. And we're going to find a part that we want to do the stutter effect on. And we're going to use these grid lines as our guide. So I like the part where he says big body.
Big body, booty bitch.
So what we're going to do is just highlight this, Command E to split it. And we're going to hold Option click and just drag over 1, 2, and let's listen.
Nerves, big body, booty bitch.
What we can also do is maybe bring it down a little bit.
Big body, booty bitch.
And then maybe even what I would do, honestly, is duplicate this. Bring this one down, and I would actually add on like some type of pan plugin, so maybe Pan Man, and I would rate this a little faster, going back and forth. I would change the width, and I would just smoothen it out so it kind of glides, and this is what it would sound like.
Big body, booty bitch.
And we can even do another part, so let's find another part we want to do. Let's use this part. The F word will come here, option, click over, and let's listen. Let's do another one right here. And then we can do it right here. I don't know why it took me so long to understand it, but like I said, make sure your grid is on and change it to 1/16 and use those lines as your guide. All right, y'all. So these next few are going to be real simple tricks that you might already know, but somebody out there doesn't know it. So the first one is going to be using a doubler to widen your vocals. This is something I do a lot just because sometimes my vocals end up sounding thin. So with this widener, I can, you know, kind of spread my vocals a little bit, but you have to be very careful on how much you use, and I'm going to show you why. So we have this session right here called With You featuring my homegirl Kari. This is going to be one of the songs that comes out on the R&B album. Let me just go ahead and show you what it sounds like.
I want to feel something different, show you the love you're missing. Let me ease your tension.
So I feel like we can definitely just open the vocals up a little bit more, make it sound fuller. So what we would do is doubler 2, which I have down here. And if you guys are interested in knowing what it looks like, we can come over to the bus sends right here. Scroll over, doublers right here. So these are going to be the settings that I use to kind of widen the vocals, but like I said, you don't want too much. So I'm going to show you what too much sounds like and then what it sounds like dialed back. We'll go ahead and turn this all the way up and let's listen.
I want to feel something different, show you the love you're missing.
You definitely don't want your vocals to sound like that. So what we're going to do is listen to the vocals and then just dial it down little by little until we find that sweet spot.
I want to feel something different, show you the love you're missing. Let me ease your tension, I'll give you my full attention.
So if we turn it off,
I want to feel something different, show you the love you're missing.
and then on.
Let me ease your tension, I'll give you my full attention. And when it comes to your feelings, I'll listen.
As you can see, it definitely does the trick. Also, what we can do is create a different one, which I have a spread setting that I'll show you guys as well. So we're going to come to new track, which I showed you in the beginning. And we're just going to name this spread. And it's right here. We're just going to right click real quick and we're going to recall my settings from my original template called spread. And this is just a stereo imager. This is also going to widen the vocals. And what I'll do is turn off the doubler. I have the spread turned on. I'm going to turn it all the way up and then we'll dial it down. And these are the settings as far as the S1 stereo imager. I don't believe I touched anything. I think I just opened it and left it as is.
I want to feel something different, show you the love you're missing. Let me ease your tension, I'll give you my full attention. And when it comes to your feelings, I'll listen. We can take it slow, baby, I'm all in. Baby, I just want love with you.
So the next tip is something I actually learned last night while watching Lou Diaz do a mix. And he says, don't go looking for the bad frequencies.
One of the first mistakes I made using EQs, I see people still do it to this day, and they take a sweeping EQ to find something that's wrong. But what they do is they boost a very narrow frequency and they start sweeping. You boost 6 to 10 dBs, everything's going to sound bad. What I learned was to listen first, and then say, okay, I feel this is too boxy sounding, or there's something wrong with the low end there. It's too much.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass this Pro Q3. I'm going to pull up a different one. And rather than me clicking, doing all this, looking for the frequencies and taking it out, what I'm going to do is just solo it with the headphones, swoop and look for the bad frequencies and take it out. And let's see if this works. This is my first time trying it, but I mean, it's a professional audio engineer saying he used to do the sweep effect and he doesn't do it anymore. And so we're going to see if this works.
I want to feel something different, show you the love you. Let me ease your tension.
So
And when it
that.
comes to your feelings, I listen. We can take it slow, baby, I'm all in. Baby, I just want love. I wanna feel some different. Attention. And when it comes to your feelings, I listen. We can take it slow, baby, I'm all in. Baby, I just want. I wanna feel some different. Let me ease your tension. I'll give you my full attention. And when it comes to your feelings, I'm all in. Baby, I just want love. I wanna feel full attention. And when it comes to your feelings, I listen. We can take it slow, baby, I'm all in.
And I feel like there might be some low end. Yeah, definitely want to take out some low end. I hear it. So let's low cut and let's just make sure it's not too much.
I wanna feel some.
So when I swept around, this is what I got. And then when I just kind of listened, this is what I got. So we have the new EQ bypassed and I unsoloed the vocals, and let's see how it sounds in the mix. Again, this is the way I did it before, where I went looking for the frequencies, and this is what it sounds like.
I wanna feel some different. Show you the love you missing. Let me ease your tension. I'll give you my full attention.
And now if we bypass that one and bring in the new EQ we just did, let's see.
I wanna feel some different. Show you the love you missing. Let me ease your tension. I'll give you my full attention.
Me personally, I think the new way does sound a little better. So I can't remember what number we are on when it comes to the tips. The next one is for reverb, and it's using the pre-delay. I don't know why I never thought of it, but I think my pre-delay has always been set to 0. And with pre-delay on reverb, that means as soon as the vocals start, the pre-delay starts. And the issue with that is your vocals tend to start getting real cloudy. So what you want to do is add a pre-delay so your vocals start, but the reverb has a slight delay to it. Again, mind blown, learned this last night from Lou Diaz, so I'm teaching you guys this. So if I show you my reverb settings real quick, as you guys can see, my pre-delay is set to 0. So I know my vocals are cloudy. So if we just go ahead and keep this open and let's just go to this vocal right here, solo it. Let's listen to how it sounds with the reverb I have.
I don't really know what love is, but I wanna feel it with you.
Not too bad, but let's turn it all the way up.
I don't really know what love is, but I wanna feel it with you.
The issue is when you start adding on multiple vocals and adding reverb to it, it's definitely going to start clashing together. So we want to add this pre-delay. So what I'm going to do is just swipe it all the way up to 160 just to exaggerate, and let's see how that sounds.
I don't really know what love is, but I wanna feel it with you.
So it has that reverb tail and it's not too much in the beginning. Again, let's turn it down.
I don't really know what love is, but I wanna feel it with you.
And turn it back up.
I don't really know what love is, but I wanna feel it with you. I don't really know what love is, but I wanna feel it with you. I don't really know what it feels like, but I wanna feel it with you. 3 a.m. and I'm still awake. Heart beat fast when you call my name.
And as you guys can see, it sounds a lot better. Sometimes it's good if you want that type of spacey vibe, but sometimes you just don't need all of that. All right, guys, so we're on tip number 7, and this is how to split a stereo track into a mono track. So one instance as to why you'd want to do this is my favorite plugin of all time when it comes to a stock plugin for Pro Tools is AutoPan. But AutoPan only works when the vocals are originally mono. And say something happens and you're recording in stereo on accident, which by the way, we're supposed to record in mono, mix in stereo, but sometimes you might record in stereo but you don't want to re-record because you have this perfect song and you just don't know what to do. Well, there's a way in Pro Tools that you can split the track from going from stereo to mono, and then you can do whatever you need to do after that. And let me show you how to do that. So we have this track right here. This is just a random vocal track, and as you guys can see, it's in stereo because we have one pan this way and one pan that way. Now if we come to here and try to type in auto pan, as you guys can see, auto pan does not show up because this is a stereo track. We need to have it in mono first, and then auto pan would change it from mono to stereo. So the way we would do that is right click on the track, split to mono, and now we have one that goes to the left, one that goes to the right. So what we can do is delete these first two tracks, and we have this last one, and we're gonna option on the Mac keyboard and click where it says pan, and now it's set to 0. So now instead of the vocals being all the way on the left one side, all the way on the right one side, or one left one right for stereo, now it's just in the middle for mono. And then say we go back because we're wanting to add that auto pan plugin. Now if we type in auto pan, we have the option to use auto pan. So when we click it, as you guys can see, we can use it, and then it does change the vocals stereo, which again, like I said, you record in mono, you mix in stereo, but can't use certain plugins if your vocals are already in stereo. So if you're needing to know how to make your vocals mono instead of stereo, that is the way to do it. All right guys, so tip number 8 is going to be gain staging, and this one is one that I learned recently. And what we want to do is route all our audio tracks into a mix bus. We're going to then turn the mix bus all the way up. We're going to level our vocals, and then once we have it leveled, we're going to turn our mix bus down to 0, and then we start processing our vocals. Let me show you what that looks like. So we have our vocals right here, and what I'm going to do is create an aux send and label it mix bus. So I'm just going to option click, go down to new track. It's going to be stereo, and we'll just name this mix bus. So now everything is routed into this mix bus right here. So we're going to turn the volume all the way up. We're going to start leveling these vocals. Once it's leveled to my liking, I'm going to turn the mix bus down, and then that's when we would begin processing. I'm going to actually duplicate this, and I'm going to have this on its own track.
Why? Big I'm swing like shit. Hey. Big dog got to come in here for that. Hey, I don't care about number what the check say. Big dog, all the hoes call me Hefe. I'm up 10, man, today was a good day. Never slacking, man, I'm trying to catch a new play. Me and Zay hit that road, brody, lock in. Nigga play with my top, he get boxed in. Me and Zay hit that road, brody, lock in. Nigga play with my top, he get boxed in. Hey, I ain't speaking to no rollers, keep my mouth shut. A nigga loving on that hoe, brody, been fucked. I'm counting blues all day, I'm getting paper cuts. Yeah, I'm a young nigga, but y'all blowing up the spot. I don't care about number what the check say. Big dog, all the hoes call me Hefe. I'm up 10, man, today was a good day. Never slacking, man, I'm trying to catch.
So that sounds good. Everything sounds leveled how I want it. The leads are up front. The ad-libs are, you know, a little bit toned down, but not too much. And then say we go ahead and go to the mix bus, and I'm just going to throw on one of my mix buses real quick. Right here. And so what I like to do with my mix bus, I'll just throw on a Q8, which looks like this, and then an L2, which looks like this. That's typically for the mix bus. Tip number 9 is going to be organization. The best way to attack your song head on, one is to have a template. That way you can speed through things, but also when you have this template, you need organization. You don't want to be looking for all sorts of different things because that's just going to slow you down. And this is one of the ones that I'm recently starting to learn. Color coding is a great way to organize things. Let me show you how I have my template set up. So as you guys can see, this is my template right here. I have the mix track that you can see right below this webcam, just looking at colors. Okay, so I know that this is my click track, so when I'm trying to make sure a beat is on point, it's this. And then I know that yellow is my beat, and I always make record my red, right? But once we get over to the purple, I know that this is going to be my lead track. So when I'm recording, I know that all my leads are going to go on these two purple tracks, and then I have the oranges, and these are going to be like my dub / ad libs type of thing. So it's just one of those extra ad libs that's going in the back, kind of just to add texture capture and enhance my vocals. And then I started doing harmonies a lot more. So all my harmonies, because there's about 10 of them, they're all compiled into the green color. So if I ever need to mess with any of these, I know that right here from harmony 1 to harmony 10 is going to be green. Visually, I'm organized and I have them all routed to one specific aux track, just like how these are routed to one specific aux track. And then I have folders because I'm real OCD with seeing too much stuff. If I open up outputs, I know that my V lead, my backgrounds, and my ad-libs are going to be within this. So if I ever need to make any changes, I know to go into the yellow folder called outputs to make changes, because all these vocals are either being routed into the V lead aux, into the ad-libs aux, or into the background aux. Okay. And then for my buses, I know I'm going for the blue. So if I need to make any changes to my parallel compression, my reverb, my delay, things of that sort, I know that I'm going to go ahead and go into my bus folder right here. And then I can literally just slide over and make whatever tweaks I want. I have never used the mixer part of things, which is crazy. I've been using Pro Tools since like 2015. And this is really the first time I'm actually like more into the mix console part. So when I'm adjusting these volumes and stuff, this is the screen that I'm going to be focusing on, which is why you guys can now see it as another way of seeing my screen, so you guys can see when I'm making tweaks and stuff like that. And then we have the sends, so I know as far as like my mix bus, my vocal summoning bus, my beat bus, if I ever wanted to add anything on there, my send effects where I have all my sends going to this one spot. This is where I would go into the folder to make whatever tweaks I may need, but typically I don't make any tweaks because everything is really just set perfectly, which again is why it's best to create a template so you don't have to do too much and you can really just get in and start recording, because we don't want to be fiddling around and lose that artistry or lose that train of thought when we have this beautiful idea that we want to come to life, but we can't because we're too busy trying to place things here or place things there. So templates are really, really good to have. And then last but not least, for my organization, I have something called the aux bus, which these are going to be like other sends. So as far as like the aux tracks for my harmonies, it would be placed in here. The aux tracks for like my throw delays, things of that sort. Even though it could go to buses, it's a little different. I don't know how to explain it, but it works for me because I know when it comes to certain things, I know it's going to be in here. So if I go ahead and open up this, we have the hook background aux, the vocal stack aux, we have our sidechain reverb and delay in here, we have our in and out, and like I said, the V hall, 1/4 delay, V wide, all that can go into the bus track. But the buses in the dark blue folder are those buses that I've been using from the time I started recording and using Pro Tools. While in the aux, these are going to be new things that I've kind of been playing around with. So I know that if it's something new that I started doing, I want to come into the aux and I want to make changes within there. While I know if it's something that I've been doing for a long time, I'm going to go into my dark blue buses folder and make tweaks there. But these are just some of the auxes that we have, just like track space, bus 7, which would be my R comp when it comes to doing the sidechain stuff. This setup works for me because I know what I'm looking for. I know where to go. I know what I'm doing. And that's what you guys need. You guys need to start creating templates and having some type of organized system. That way you can get in, record, do what you have to do, and you're not taking too long trying to figure things out. You guys have seen on my live, I had everything set up to where all I'm doing is recording and I'm placing things where they go. And that's how I'm able to make these songs so quick. So my tip number 9 for you is to create a template and get organized. That way you could speed up your workflow when recording. All right, y'all. So tip number 10 has to do with how I get my vocals to sit on top of the beat rather than behind the beat. And it's very simple. I don't know why people think it's so complex, because all you have to do is literally just trim the volume of the beat, add in some compression when mixing your track, and that's kind of almost it. Sometimes you can even EQ the beat if there's some high frequencies. A lot of times these YouTube beats will have like high hi-hats, or the bass is just too much, or the claps or snares are just too loud, in my opinion. So then I'll use something like Saturn 2 by FabFilter to kind of just dial those down a little bit. But honestly, it's real simple, and I'm just going to show you what I did when it comes to this one song that's coming up on my R&B album, which will be released on February 14th, 2026. This is a song called Easy, created by J2, amazing artist. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into how I got the vocals to sit on top of the beat. All right, so this is a song right here, and this is what it sounds like.
Can I take it easy on you? Can I take it easy on you? Got me going crazy about you, but wanna take it easy on you.
If I was to undo the trim and undo all these plugins, this is what it would sound like. So as you guys can see, you can't hear anything. So the first thing I did was a trim, and I like to trim somewhere around negative 11 dBs. But for this track, as you guys can see, I just trimmed around negative 8.1 dBs. So automatically we have our beat sounding like this now. And then if we bypass it, you hear the vocals a little bit more. It's still really low and it's still like underneath the beat, but it did make a subtle difference. So then what we're doing is mixing. So we did just an NS1, which is just a noise suppressor, and we did some EQing. I just found some frequencies that didn't work when it came to the vocals, and this is what it sounds like. So you still can't hear it, but we do have the clarity that we're looking for. So the trick is to just use a compression. If you don't know what compression does, it takes your high vocals, it takes your low vocals, and it just makes those vocals equal when it comes to volume. So what I use for my compression is the Universal Audio Rev A1176, and I have my input somewhere around like 35-ish, and then I have my output at 6, only because his vocals were really quiet, to be honest with you. I have my ratio at 4, I have my attack in the middle at 4, I have my release at 5. And if we go ahead and just listen to it without it on and then enable it while the vocals are playing, you'll hear that the vocals now are sitting on top of the beat rather than underneath the beat.
Going crazy about you, but wanna take it easy. Get easy on you.
So that's really it. On my live, I did show y'all about the Saturn II, which is right here, fat filter. And what I like to do with this one, I will look at the frequencies that raises and I'll just see what's kind of piercing. But sometimes I don't like to look at it, I like to hear it. So I can tell when like a hi-hat is just too crispy, too high, too just harsh, or the claps or the snares are the same way, which I'm not a fan of that. So I will take that out. If the melody is a little too loud or if the bass is too loud, I would take those things out. That way I can make room for my vocals. So if we were to undo the trim and then work on Saturn II, this is what I would do. So as you guys can see, the bass is booming. There's no way around it. The bass is booming. So I'd probably take it out about 3.28. So as you guys can see, that snare is also really loud. So I would play around with that. And then, like I said, the hi-hat is just too much going on with the hi-hat.
I think about it day and night. Hope you on the way.
Let's go back.
But wanna take it easy on you. Easy. Wanna take it easy on you.
And this band right here is gonna be for the kick, so I'm just gonna lower it a tad bit.
Easy. Wanna take it easy on you. Tonight, I'm trying to.
And that's it. So if we bypass it and listen to the beat and then turn it back on, this is what it would sound like.
Easy on you. Can I take it easy on you? Got me going crazy about you, but wanna take it easy.
So that's literally all I do when it comes to trying to get my vocals to sit on top of the beat. I just use the right compressor. I'll EQ the beat a little bit if need be, and I'll just add a trim tool to dial down the volume of the beat. That way it's not too loud and my vocals are being drowned out. Y'all, so this is going to be a quick one. If we wanted our vocals to sit back without having to adjust the volume, there's one plugin that will do this so beautifully, and I'm going to show you how to do it. As you can see, that's up front. I'll even turn off auto pan because we want to just focus mainly on this vocal. If we were to add True Verb, which is a Waves plugin that's not talked about a lot. If we were to turn off the reverb because we don't want to deal with the reverb, and we turn the early ref down and we listen to it, watch how it now pushes it back rather than keeping it forward. Now, if that still sounds up front, listen to it with it bypassed. Now, say we did want some reverb, we could just click the reverb on and just mess with it. We bypass it. So if we ever want to bring those vocals back rather than having them in the front, this is a perfect way to do so. This is one of those plugins that I've never really used or did too much with, but it's a great plugin to use, and I think I'm going to start using it more. That's tip number 11, how to have your vocals pushed back rather than keeping them up front without having to adjust the volume.